Unlike the 1982 classic Pitfall, which is an absolute delight, career pitfalls are something you want to avoid because they can do damage to you in your long term earnings. So today we're going to go over 3 common career pitfalls that you want to avoid. Next Level Coaching. Hey, I'm Jim Kelly with Next Level Coaching, and I'm here to bring your career to the next level. So today we're talking about 3 common pitfalls, career pitfalls that people can get themselves into. Why do I go with 3? 2 reasons. 1, I talk a lot, so if I go to a higher number, this video would be very, very long. And 2, selfishly, I want to keep making content for you all. So, I want to be able to come back to different subjects with other, ideas. So the first pitfall we're going to talk about today is staying in your comfort zone for too long. So when you stay in your comfort zone for too long, you are hurting yourself long term because you stop building up new skill sets. You refine the skill set you're doing, which is fantastic, and you definitely want to spend time building up a skill set. It's not like you want to go, okay, I learned this thing, let me move on. If a guitarist picks up a guitar and learns all the basic chords and goes, I'm done forever, fantastic, you're not going to be able to do a lot of different things on that guitar. But when they spend time building up that craft, refining the skills, you get some truly amazing music coming from it. And the same thing goes for your career. Like, learning a skill set to do a particular role, whether that is actions in Excel, whether that is, different programs that are associated to the type of business you're doing, whether it's presentation skills, whether it's sales skills. It doesn't matter what those skills are. It takes a while to go from, I understand this, to I've mastered it. And in that time of mastering it, it's very easy to go, okay, I have this down. Let me just keep doing it because I am awesome at this. And if the workplace was a static thing, and that there was no changes coming to technology, there's no changes to what's considered work, then that would be a fantastic thing to do, and I would be all about that for you and love it for you. But let's face consequences. In 2024, the job market is changing more than ever before, and it's going to continue to change at a rapid pace because there's rapid innovation in technology. Jobs of today were not thought of 20 years ago. It wasn't even, something that could be imagined. But now, you have roles in AI, you have roles in social media for companies. You go back to the 90s, that wouldn't have even been considered as a possible option. So if you stay in one zone and only master that one zone, unless you are certain that that is a career that's going to be there forever, you might be hampering yourself, and that could be a problem. So you want to make sure that you are examining at regular intervals, where am I in my career? What do I know? What am I currently working on improving? If you hit the point where you go, I'm not working on improving something, that is a problem, and it's time to move on. The second pitfall I'd like to talk to you about is a lack of controlled direction. So it's very, very, very easy to get into your first gig and go, okay, I'm doing X, I'm in X. Whether that is, I'm in sales, I'm going to be in sales my entire career. I'm in marketing, I'm going to do marketing my entire career. I'm in financial crimes. I'm going to be in financial crimes forever. And going, this is what I am, and my manager will let me know what I'm going to be next. It is you who has to drive that conversation. If you are meeting with your manager and going, okay, well, what's next for me? That is a, tough question for the manager to answer, because they don't know what you want. And if you don't know what you want, no one's going to be guiding the ship. You have to come in with the knowledge of, okay, I am currently doing this. I need to build up this skill set to get to the next level where I'm going. Or I don't like what I'm doing. What can I do to develop transferable skills to another role, whether it's within my firm or externally, and building up that resume to be able to point out those skill sets? Because every single job you do has transferable skills. I don't care if you are a janitor, if you are the person who opens the door at a fancy hotel, if you are a security guard. They all have transferable skills to other roles. And it is identifying what you do at an interpersonal level, or as, taking notice to details, things to that effect, that you can transfer over to something else. Because I can tell you, as someone who has done everything from, I taught martial arts for 15 years. I've done security. I've done retail. I've done sales. And I've done operations at banks. I've done financial crimes. I've done management, all sorts of different levels. And, there are transferable skills between every single one of those jobs that I've done. And it's even transferable skills you get from outside of the workplace that can be just as valuable inside the workplace. I can tell you for a fact, I learned more about management running a World of Warcraft guild than I ever did at work. Because when you have to motivate people to do something without being able to give any type of financial reward to them, without being able to go, this is definitely where we're going on this, you learn a completely different way of talking to people and interacting. And I'm not going to say running a World of Warcraft guild is for everyone, but that is a transferable skill set that I learned from playing a video game. So if you can look around your life and identify those skill sets, and you can start to identify where you can go in your career path. And that is a beautiful thing, because knowing what you want out of your career is important, because that's what's going to satisfy you in the workplace. And your work might not be always what gives you your joy in the world. It might be what funds your ability to get your joy in the world. So don't always look at, I have to absolutely love everything about my work. Work can be just that. It can be just work. And your life could be outside of that. And to me, that is a beautiful thing. So make sure you are in the driver's seat of your career. Make sure you're engaging with your manager to have conversations about where you want to go, because they might be able to start building a pathway to those opportunities for you. Last, but certainly not least, is setting boundaries. If you go back in work 30 years ago, you would have people who would work late in the office on a regular basis, and that was normal. You know, not everything can be done in the 9 to 5. Now, 9 to 5 obviously is variable to everyone's different life, but sometimes you do have to work late to get things done because they are time sensitive, whether it's delivering something for a client, delivering something for a regulator, or you just want to show how good you are and you want your boss to notice your work. Sometimes, you do have to go over and above for that, and that is okay. But, as technologies come along, you can get your emails directly to your phone. You can have Teams or Zoom or anything on your phone. So you might be getting messages 24/7. And it's easy to fall into the trap of feeling like I need to respond to everything right away. Somebody else's fire is not necessarily your fire. And their working hours might not be your working hours. Some people are really, really strong in the morning and fade off in the afternoon and are absolutely useless in the evening. Other people are terrible in the morning, okay in the afternoon, and they're on their peak game in the evening. And, there's every variation of different time allotment for every person. And it's also a thing in today's culture, especially in corporate America, where meetings happen all of the time. Especially when you get to more senior levels, you can be on 8 to 10 hours of meetings a day. And now suddenly you're doing your work after work. That is, a problem that needs to be solved because people are burning out at a higher rate than ever before. I wonder why. Could it be that they aren't disconnecting? Probably. But that's a topic for a completely different video. You have to set clear boundaries of, okay, here are my working hours. Here is the time I'm going to set aside for, I have to work late, this to here. Okay, fantastic. I might quick check my emails to see if there's anything urgent at, let's say 8 o'clock. And then I'm done. I'm not touching my computer again till the next day. I'm disconnecting for the weekend. And setting those clear boundaries are going to help your mental health. And especially for people who are doing remote work, it is important to have a ritual for when you stop. Because that tells your brain you are not at work anymore. For me personally, I always take a shower before work. And then after work, I take another shower. Because that way my brain knows you are done work. We're taking a shower. Different part of our day. Because if you work out of the same room you spend most of your time in, it's very easy for your brain to trick yourself into you are in the office that entire time. You have to have a way to disconnect. And it is so important for your mental health. Make sure you're setting those clear boundaries. Make sure you're communicating those boundaries to your manager. If your manager is hitting you up at 10 o'clock at night and that is your bedtime, you need to be having a conversation with them going, hey, just so you know, if you ask me about something after, X time, my phone's going to be silenced. I'm not going to be aware of the message. I will get back to it first thing in the morning. Not a problem. But, I have my rituals at night. This is my bedtime. Because sleep is super important. You want to make sure you're getting it so that you could be your very best. And that's really All this is about is being your best. And if you don't set the boundaries and you're working 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, you are going to be burnt out and you are going to be less of an asset to your company. And the company is never going to realize they need more people if you're working that much, because you're always there to pick up the slack. And if a company can get away with having less employees, they're going to have less employees. It is always their incentive to maximize their profits, not maximize your mental health. So you have to take care of that yourself. So make sure you are identifying that so that you can be your very best. Now that you're more aware of some of these common pitfalls, hopefully you're going to be able to avoid them so that you can have the best career you possibly can. Because that's what we're all about here, is taking your career to the next level. Now you have a wonderful day. I am proud of you. Keep up the great work, and we'll see you next time.